Alright, so this is basically like the fucking third time I'm shooting this because I fucked up the first two times. So I'm kind of tired talking about this topic, but I'm gonna do it again. So for this summer, I was working at Walmart e-commerce. I might make a future video about that experience, but for this video, it's just gonna be me talking about how I got an internship and some tips I've come along the way that I think could be very helpful to whoever watches this video. I kind of broke it down into my own 3 very simple steps that I believe will put you on the right path to getting a internship. The 3 steps are resume and cover letter. Second, applying. So applying to whatever jobs that you would be interested in or the career field you want to go into. And 3, interview. So RAI. A good acronym I like to use to remember those 3 things is racist, ass, introvert. So if you are able to remember those 3 words, you might have a chance of remembering what I'm about to actually tell you. First, resume and cover letter. Resume and cover letter. These 2 things are really the first impressions a hiring manager will get from you when you are applying to the job. So you really want to have a well-written cover letter, a professional-like resume. And what I mean by that is you want to have detailed information about your work or schooling experience. You want to do a good job of having clear statements that communicate your skill set to the hiring manager. And I'm going to cut over to welcome to my resume. So as you can see on my resume, it's like in a standard format. This is kind of what they call like a chronological resume, showing my most relevant work experience and then scrolling down to some activities. Some kind of things I learned after like putting together this resume is most people kind of prefer that you just have 1-page resume, because honestly most people don't have time to like scroll through your whole resume and read everything, because the jobs you're applying for or like the internships you want, there are probably like hundreds or thousands of people that actually like apply to these jobs. So ain't nobody got time to read your resume. Even though how special you think you are, ain't nobody gonna read your whole thing. So maybe limit it to 1 thing if you have limited work experience. This is something I should have done, but I'm telling you guys that right now. Yeah, and then for the resume, a lot of like companies these days, they don't even have human people like initially reading each resume. They have like some computer software that you upload your resume to, and then they quickly scan the content of your resume, and then they just pick out some keywords that fit the job description. So for example, like if you're applying for a management position, as you can see here, it says managed or another word manage. So, and then marketing right here. So these are keywords that you really want to include for whatever position you're applying to. So in my case, I applied to a product marketing internship. And then, so what helped was me having a lot of marketing words in my resume. So marketing right here, and then management, it's good for marketing too. So that those keywords are really important for you to get through that initial phase of the computer just simply scanning your resume for keywords. So maybe you want to Google some keywords that apply to whatever your job you are trying to get. Another tip for the resume is just have your name clearly stated on the top. I'm gonna have to blur out my address and shit, but you're gonna want to just make sure that it's a clean cut format, no like crazy colors or cool text formats or word art, because it's just not a good look. It's kind of unprofessional. You want to have like a very basic thing, easy for somebody to understand what you're trying to do and communicate with them. Make sure that all your grammar is correct, good sentence structure, and then yeah, that's kind of like the sum up the resume. Next, I'm gonna move on to the cover letter I wrote. So for this cover letter, I tried to make like a cookie cutter one that seemed customizable. So for example, you can see right here like the bolded spots here. This is where I would try to pretend it's a customizable cover letter. So I would put like, I'm writing to express my interest in the marketing position, which was posted on the job posting site, LinkedIn. So by having like these cool like bolded things of like you know what to enter, gives like the feeling that this cover letter is written customly for the company you're applying to, but in reality, it's not, because I'm using like very very broad terms like leadership experience, communicative skills, record and teamwork. These are all skills you should have to apply to really any job. So they work for really any cover letter. But yeah, it's just you don't have to do this. You can honestly write a cover letter for each company you apply to, but that can be like a painstaking process. So I kind of expedited it and cheating the system a little bit. Maybe they notice or maybe they don't, but it gives a sense like I wrote a custom cover letter to each company. Second, racist ass introvert. So A is for application. Racist ass introvert. So A is for applying. And so when I was applying for jobs, I was specifically looking on just Indeed or LinkedIn.com. I feel like these are two great job board sites. You obviously could find more and apply to them, but I feel like these are like the two main ones a lot of people go on. Indeed especially, they get like a lot of people posting jobs on there. So when I was applying to these jobs, I'll be honest, man, I like really had no real experience on anything on my resume. Maybe I like had some school experience or some side projects I did in school. So it's not like frowned upon to maybe exaggerate some of your experiences or accomplishments on your resume, because that's what most people do. But you don't want to lie about whatever experiences you had. You want to just write whatever you did, but make it sound more exaggerated and professional than you really did, because that's how most people do it. Not most people, but what I did and just what I picked up on talking to other people. So you really want to apply to these jobs, whatever you're interested in. So like I personally was interested in marketing stuff, so and my skills related to marketing and stuff like that. So I applied to a lot of marketing jobs. As like a student and you have like no real world experience, you're probably not going to get many responses. I'll be honest. Like employers want to hire people with some experience, but as a student you have no experience, so you're going to have to deal with a lot of rejection. I applied to like at least hundreds of companies and sent out hundreds of resumes and cover letters, and I only got like such a small percentage rate of people that responded to my my application. The failure process is normal. It happens to everybody. It's not even a big deal. Just don't even take it too personally. But as you build up your resume, you'll see that once you get more experience, more people will be interested. But in my personal experience, I was applying to all these jobs, man, rejected these hundreds of times. I only got like 4 phone interviews. I did the phone interviews and everything, and then eventually I got my job with Walmart e-commerce. I was with a phone interview, but that took a lot of time till I actually got the job offers. So rejection is a very normal process, but if you keep sticking with the process and applying, slowly but surely, sooner or later you're gonna get an opportunity. So just persevere through the process and surely an opportunity will come your way. So next, the interview process. So RAI, introvert, I for introvert. Yeah, so for the interview process, most likely the first one's gonna be like a phone interview with the hiring manager. In this phone interview, you're really gonna wanna, well, what I did was a day or two before the actual interview, I would do my background research on the company. So you just do like some quick Google researches. Like for example, you're interviewing at Facebook. Go to Facebook's website, learn about their mission statement, what they're trying to do with the company. Just learn about, and also learn about the industry as well. Get some questions about the industry. Just seem knowledgeable in whatever topic you're about to talk about, because you don't want to look like you're unprepared. Also, make sure you know what position you're about to talk to the hiring manager about. know the responsibilities. Read the job description. You want to seem knowledgeable. Honestly, I'm a complete idiot, but I like reduce my idiocracy just by simply Google things and learning them, and then you're just like less of an idiot as time goes on. That's how I would do it. Research your stuff, and then you won't be an idiot. Also, for the interview, most interviewers are gonna start some behavioral questions. So some common behavioral questions are like, tell me about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Just simple questions like that. So personally, in this process, I was awful at this. I couldn't even tell anybody about myself. I'm like, oh, my name's Alan. I'm a college student. That was like about my answer. That was like the sum of my answer. So if you don't know how to answer these questions at all, practice a day or two before. Practice with your buddy. Practice by yourself in front of a mirror, or practice pretending talking on the phone. Just practicing before the interview will really get you thinking about your own answers, so you can think about some of your own work experiences or some school experiences that would be relevant to the interview question that you are being asked. They just really want to learn more about your personality, how you think things through, and your past experiences. It is up to you to clearly communicate that to the hiring manager, because everybody has their own experiences and everything, but it's just if you can actually articulate those experiences and things you've done to the hiring manager, because they will never know if you can't communicate in a clear way. So that's a very important part. So if you're really bad at interviewing, just simply practice before, and then I promise you'll get better. But yeah, those 3 steps are really kind of how I broke my, how I kind of thought would be helpful for you guys to learn about trying to get your first internship or real job. So RAI, remember, racist, ass, introvert. Oh yeah, and then one more side tip. It's really better to apply earlier rather than later, because from my understanding, most like big companies, they usually finish the recruiting process around February. So they start that process pretty early, probably around like September. Honestly, that's how most people talk about, like September is when they start sending out their applications and everything. So get your resume and cover letter together, and then from there, you're in the game. Yeah, I hope this video helped a lot, and peace.